Today, I'm going to continue making ephemera for the spooky journal. I thought today I would do some journaling cards. So these again will populate the pockets, the tuck spots, and that kind of stuff. So what have I got in front of me? I've got some craft cardstock, because I'm going to carry on with that same kind of aesthetic with the journaling spot where you actually write on craft card. And my camera just cut off again for no reason whatsoever. Anyway, as I was saying, journaling spots on craft cards. So these have been cut to a specific size, which I'll come into in a little while. I've got some black cardstock, which was left over from when I cut down my signatures out of the black cardstock, which was 12 by 12. So when you cut your signatures out, this was the piece of cardstock that was left. So obviously I didn't throw it away because there's quite a lot and it's very useful, because I thought to myself, if you fold it in half that way, it makes a really nice size top fold kind of note card, which is why I cut the craft card down so that it will fit on the inside. Because like I said, I'm going to keep with that same aesthetic for the journaling spots being in craft card. So we've got a really nice kind of sized card, which if you wanted to, once you've created these, you could actually send them out as thank you notes or little Halloween cards, or just keep them as journaling cards for your spooky journal. So that's what I've got for those there. I've obviously got my 2 sets of Tim Holtz sticker books, Halloween sticker books, which I'm going to be using. I've got a selection here of different Tim Holtz Halloween papers. Now some going back quite a while, like that one, some more modern and some even more modern than that. So there's a different range of Tim Holtz backing papers. I've also gone through my paper dolls collection, pulling out likely candidates, a cast of characters that I can use on the front of my little journaling card. So these are, I know she's holding a rabbit, but you know. So these kind of could be turned into fairly creepy sorts of characters. And they're holding pumpkins anyway, so that's fine. So there's a fair few. So I've got plenty to choose from there. And I've also got out my Tim Holtz layers, which have got these fabulous kind of purple curtains. Oh, I must have the Witchy Girls as well. So about time I use those up. And I've also got these pair of curtains now, just by pure coincidence. They actually fit exactly onto the front cover of one of those journaling cards. So I will be utilising both of those with the cast of characters. So there we go. So that is what we've got to play with today to create the journaling cards. So let me have a bit of a tidy up. I'll finish my cup of coffee because I'm a little bit hoarse today for some strange reason. There we go. So I'll have a quick tidy up and then I'll be right back and we'll get started on the first stage of creating these journaling cards. Right, how do we tidy up? So to make the bases, then all I'm going to do is just fold them in half. And that couldn't be any simpler than that. So I've got a bone folder just to commit my creases. And I want 9, so I think 3 per signature, because we've got 3 signatures in the journal. So I think 3 per signature. We've got other ephemera that's going to be going in. We've got tags. Like I said, we've got these. We've also got something else which I want to have a play with on another day for the journal. But that's a video for another day. So there's 4 there. So I need, like I said, I need 9. So now you've seen me do this a little bit, I will whiz off and then come back when I've got all 9 folded and ready to go. Okay, so got my 9 journaling card bases, got my 9 pieces of craft cardstock. So all I'm literally going to do next is just open the cardstock up, grab some glue. Actually, just use the bigger bottle today, seeing as there's no need for precision. Now, I'm not scruffing the insides of these, but I should really have distressed them, really, shouldn't I? See, this is what happens. Right, okay. Let's put that on hiatus for a second. Distressing. Yes, I should have gone round. And thank you for those of you that shouted. Distress first, distress first. See, sometimes through the magic of technology and being telepathetic, okay. Let's just do this one. I'm so telepathic. Right. Where was we? So glue. And then we'll just stick that in. Let's actually get it in frame so you can see. And then because we've got that little bit of wiggle room, we've got time just to kind of centre it so you've got an even black border all the way around, like so, like Captain Kirk's communicator. You can just flip it up. There we go. Okay, so now I've done that one, because I'm batch making, I will go away and do the rest, and I'll do that one last, because obviously that's already got glue on the back. So I may have to wait till that dries before I can reapply it. So I'll put that to one side. Okay, let's grab that distressing. Okay, so we're back again. So I've gone through and done all of those inserts, but while I was distressing, I thought to myself, wouldn't it be cool to have some like splatters on the inside? So I've dug out my candied apple, because I think this is a brighter red than the barn door, and I've got this old stamp set from Indigo Blue, which I've actually cut up, and I'm just going to do a little bit at the bottom like that. So I really ought to put a piece of scratch paper underneath that so I don't get any on my mat. So there we go. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do for the insides, but I'll vary it. But what I'll do for most of these, I'll do it first before gluing it in. So if you're interested, the stamp set is called Ink Splat, and it's this section here at the bottom. All this comes as one piece, and I've just cut it about there just to give me that little section. So okay, so this time we did that. I'm going to turn it around and I'll do this side, just to kind of vary it. So I'm going to stamp all the rest. I'm just going to keep varying it backwards and forwards across all the others. I think just a little bit more interest on the inside of the card. You could use a spider's web if you're feeling that way inclined. Maybe like a little specimen, or any kind of script would work well, just across the bottom or across the corners. If you've got a little spider stamp. Yeah, just adds a little bit more visual interest rather than just the plain cardstock. But I am just going to keep it to the bottom, because I have to bear in mind that sometimes we get carried away and we don't leave enough spaces for writing in our journals, and then all of a sudden you've got a journal that's just nice to look at and not actually functional. And that's what I find with a lot of journal people that I watch regularly on the YouTubes. Is that I think to myself afterwards, where are they going to write? There's virtually nowhere to write in those things. So, which is why I always like to make it, you know, as functional as I can, but as decorative as well. But sometimes I also like to make a journal that is, I suppose, it's almost like a naked journal, so that you can go in and customize them. Take the basic idea and the concept and then run with it with your own theme, populate it with your own bits. There we go. Let's do a little bit of CPR on that one. Lovely. Okay, so I'll get my little stamp cleaned off, put away, and then we can get back to sticking those little monkeys in the cards. Okay, so let's open that journal up. And of course, you could, if you wanted to, just flip it over so that the blood splatters are at the top. You don't have to keep them to the bottom, or your spider web's at the top rather than at the bottom. You could create your own little masthead. I actually like it at the bottom though. Okay, so now you've seen me do these couple. And I shall go away, do the rest, and join with you when we're ready to start decorating the front. If you're wondering why I'm decorating the insides first, it's usually because if I don't decorate the insides first, I tend to forget to do it. No other reason at all. It's just the way I prefer my process to be, but you could do it after you've done the fronts, or in any order you jolly well please. We're getting there. All 9 are now done, stuck, glued down and dried. So the next step in the process is to create, or to start to create, the first batch of fronts. So this is just a piece of one of the Tim Holtz abandoned paper pads. Well, I think it's the first year that he actually came out with these ones. So all I've done is I've cut this one at the same size as the insert. So exactly the same size, which is just a little bit smaller, maybe about 1/8 of an inch, but 4mm or 2mm on either side, if you're using new money. Just so you've still got that black border all the way around. So like I said, I've got 9. So what I thought I would do is I'd go through my paper stash and I'd cut out and do, don't know whether, I think that might be a Tim Holtz. So that'd be a good one, look. And just go around and actually just pull out the pieces that I think would look most interesting. Love those, you see. Sometimes you've got to flip them over to get the best kind of fit. I don't know how old that one is. That's probably a really old one. Yeah, that's probably a really old one too. And just cut another 8 from that series. So let's definitely use that one. Right, paper trimmer. Paper trimmer time. Okay, I just had to go hunting for my paper trimmer. I've got 2 of the Stampin' Up paper trimmers. One of them's disappeared. Cast no aspersions on Ian or anything, but yeah, one's disappeared and I've no idea where it is. So, okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just going to cut this at, I've forgotten now, 12.5 I think it was, yeah, 12.5. So 9 centimeters by 12.5. So these are about 3.5 inches by just under 5. So 4 7/8. I think they probably work out to be something like that. Oh, love that one. So it's just going to be a question then of going through the papers now, pulling out the papers that I think are going to work the nicest. It's the colours. I like the fact that some of these have got writing on them. And like I said, the aim is to try and use up some of these papers. So if I've got little fragments like that left over, I'm sure I can find something or think of something to do with them. Is that another one of those that I used earlier? Probably. So I like the colour combination on this one. So let's do 12.5 along there. Keep me scraps. Honest missus, I'm keeping me scraps. What throws them in the bin? Let's have some of that traditional. Can't beat a nice bit of black and white Harlequin. Right, let's have a look at, let's see. Let's have a bit of that. I'm going to go all the way through on that one. What did I just do there? I just did there 9, didn't I? So that's 12.5 on that one. I'm losing it. I'm starting to lose it. Yeah, like that. But I also like the back. But now I haven't got enough. Yeah, don't think anyway. Oh, there might just be enough on there to do one with that damask. Let's have a look. Probably can go in the bin. Oh, spot on. There we go, you see. Happy accidents. Right, so let's just flip some of these over and see what we've got. Like the writing on that one, so we'll have some of that. And then should we do it down that side? So we'll do it 12.5. So that way you can do it like that or have it that way. It's entirely up to you. How many have we got now? Because don't forget we only need 9. So 1, 2, 1 more. One more. Do I like that? Are we wide enough? Do I like? I think I do, you know. Let's do 12.5 along there. And then 9 along there. I'm not keeping little bits like that. I didn't really see there's the point. Okay, so we've got our backdrops. Like that. Obviously like that one. Love that one. Like that one. Like the contrast in the colours. Alright, so we've got a nice selection. So now what I want to do is I want to go around and just start maybe teaming up some of our cast of characters with their backgrounds. So let's see. I noticed actually that when I was doing most of these, where's the spooky girls? I think they look probably better on that one. He looks kind of cool on that one. Yeah, I mean, most of the kind of like the male characters, the creepy twins, had gone, had disappeared. So I've probably got more cast of characters here than I need. But that's okay. Kind of like her. I like the fact that she's breaking in there. Let's bring the last one. Do I like him, or him? I think. No, I think I'm going to keep with him. Alright, so we've still got our cast of characters. So we have got a few mixture of male, female, or non-gender specific, just to be politically correct. Right, okay, so I think I'm happy with just teaming those up. Right, so now I've got to decide which two I want to use the curtains for. Definitely want to use the curtains with those, but I don't think they go with that background. That clashes too much. See, sometimes you've got to just see what kind of works by eye the best. Maybe switch. Don't know. I'm kind of losing it now. Perhaps I'm overthinking it. I probably am overthinking it. Let's put them back. Right, yeah. I think I'm happy with that. So we've got this section, this one here as well, which I think we'll have. Should we have those creepy girls? Or those creepy girls? I'm liking those creepy girls for that one. Okay, so let's just pair these off then. So now I've got my little pile. Let's start off with these. So let's grab some glue. I think probably one of the hardest things when doing a project like this is actually going committing and actually making your choice. Right, so I'm going to bring in my, it was working earlier, it's always the same. There we go, a little bit across the top just to hold it, and then just run some around the outside. It's thicker sort of cardstock anyway. I could, if I wanted to, do something about the shine, but it doesn't bother me that much today. And I'm not going to go around and distress the characters. We'll find something else, maybe a little clipping, little word clipping or something for it to go on there. All right, so that's that one. So let's move on to the next. So once we've got these two curtain ones out of the way, we'll have to start teaming up with other bits of ephemera for the other characters. Okay. I mean, I'm hoping I've made the right decision with these, but you know what? Life's too short to worry about it. Right, just literally go around the outside, not going right up to the edge, because when I squidge down, I don't want it to come squirting out. It's a shame that these girls aren't much clearer in the photograph. Their faces are a little bit blurry, but you know, it is what it is. It's the age of the photograph and the reproduction. You can't put in detail that was never there in the first place. Cool. Okay, so we'll let those dry. So I'm just going to now randomly grab the others. What I'll do is I will glue this one down, and then I'll have a quick flick through with the rest of the Halloween ephemera to see what we can get him to sit on and what we can put kind of just as an accompaniment to him in the scene, because that's kind of like what we're doing. We're building up like a little mini scene, because he needs something to sit on for sure, or something to lean on. So Right, let me go over a rake through all my ephemera and see if I can find just the ticket. Okay, so I've had a really good route around in my ephemera collection, and I think I'm happy with the pairings of these. This one's got a nice dark red background, so I think it works well with the jack-o'-lantern. So I think we're going to go with that. And for this one, the girl holding the little rabbit, I think will fit just nicely there. So we'll just team up the motifs of the circles together with that, and it also pulls in the yellow from the label to the yellow from the background, so that kind of just helps it along a little bit. Right, so, and again, like I said, I could go around and start distressing the edges of everything, but I'm not going to. So before I stick it down, so just grab my little character in little bits. I think sometimes we can go a bit heavy on the distress. Sometimes you just want that contrast. I need something in the background to contrast with the colour of a dress. And as soon as you start adding in the grunge and the dirt, you kind of, it dulls it down a little bit sometimes. So I think sometimes you've got to make the decision, do I really want to start adding loads of distress? And as much as I like my distress, I don't always want to use it. Just what feels appropriate at the time. Because these images are kind of fuzzy, because they're old photos, you really don't want to start mucking up and messing with them too much. And a lot of them are quite dark anyway, so to start adding layers of distress and that kind of stuff over the top. And sometimes as well, you can colour them with distress crayons and that kind of ilk. But again, you know, vintage photos are vintage photos. They're okay for like maybe ones taken in the 50s maybe, but I think I'd prefer the contrast of the coloured background and the black and white image. Like it. Right, and the same thing for our chappie here. Have I already stuck that background down? I have, haven't I? Okay, so biggish area, so we can get away with a bigger glue. I love this big lantern, jack-o'-lantern. It blends seamlessly kind of into that background. And again, we've got the black from the background, from the eyes, the mouth, and the writing in the background as well. So the black label kind of works fairly well, and we can get him to sit on that and rest his arm on there. So that just wants to be underneath, positioning where it says jack-o'-lantern. Just to make that work. I want to be able to see the words. And then Great Uncle George. Don't ask me why I've just named him George, because I don't know. But I probably do know. I do have a great Uncle George. Or did. It's long since past now. There we go. So those are the first 4 of the journaling cards. So I've got another 5 to do. So I've got that same kind of pairing process to go through each time, deciding which character goes with the best bits of ephemera, and then maybe decide whether I'm going to add anything else onto these 2. I haven't decided yet. So what I'll do is I will go away now, make myself another cup of coffee, and I'll start having a look through to see what we can pair up with her and Isambard here, or Ichabod. Love those names. Okay, I'll be right back. Once I've made my coffee, of course. Okay, so I've gone through all my bits and pieces, and I've decided that Ichabod here, or Isambard if you like, I've decided he's a snake oil salesman, works with the travelling circus, and this lady's an undertaker. So there we go. So that's another 2 sorted out. So again, it just takes just a few minutes just to go through your collection and just see what kind of springs out, what seems to go. See if you can decide on a little story for your characters. And I was just thinking to myself, if you're one of those people who like to make the junk journals and like to sew and add sewing to them, there's nothing wrong with you going around and just sewing the borders of your little pieces before you stick them on, or even if you like to do the scruffing like I did with the tags. So, but you don't always have to do that if you don't want to. Right, so we're going to just bring these in so that I can kind of work out where her hand is going to fall, like so. So it's just underneath where it says warerooms. So I wonder if that's a room in a warehouse or it's a werewolf thing. Who can say? Right, so let's just add a little bit of glue along there just to kind of hold it in place. Just about so. And then I can just drop that down. Okay, so right now they're glued together as one. Makes it a bit easier. There we go. I'm certainly going through a bucket load of glue. So try and get it somewhere sort of in the middle. And then bring back in, what should we call her? Constance? A little ting in the background was probably Ian, giving me an update to his day. Not here at the moment. You may have gathered. Because otherwise he wouldn't be sending me texts, would he? Right. And I'm just lining it up with the edge of the card along there, and then we just need to finish off, just need something, just a little something just to kind of break that line up there. just like so. There we go. So there's another one done. This is turning into a fun little afternoon. Okay, so time for Ichabod Isn't Bad, whatever it's called. Go straight down on. Some I've put together before I stick down. Some just go straight on. Just depends on the whim, if you were wondering. Okay, so again we've got to get this so that it's lined up, so that it looks as though he's actually resting on that. So it needs to be along that knot. It also as to the nails and discard all piles, describing the hand and nails. Very nice. So we'll just stick a little bit of glue on the top there. It was about there, wasn't it? Yeah, pretty much there. Cool. Okay, so that can go now. Right. Just bring him back in again, just to make sure. Make sure we get it straight. Trying to get it so that you can still see the word, the P on the palmistry. So that's about right there. Okay. Right, and then just to finish up, we've got this little ticket. So we've got palmistry and gypsy fortune telling, which kind of goes. And then we've got an old theatre ticket. The Twilight Drive-In Theatre, which can then be used. There we go. We'll just add that there to break that line up there. And there's another two done. So just have a quick refresh. So we've got the light is just making those. There we go. So there's those two. So we've now got those two, and then we've now got those two. So that's 6 done, just another 3 to go. So I'll put those away, and then we'll bring in who we've got next. So we've got the little boy, and then we've got the creepy twin sisters. All right, so once again, I shall go delving into my stash and see what we can pull out for these two. I think this one's going to be fairly easy because there's a lot going on there because of the size of their R. And I happen to just have that left out from the previous one. Do you know what? I think that's done. So let's just put that to one side. That just leaves our 2 little girlies. All right, we'll have to see what we can find for those 2. I'll be right back. Okay, so we went with that one for the young lad. So two nice kind of like Halloweeny ones. For the two creepy girls, I decided to take some of the little witches' hats from the sticker book, the Curiosity sticker book, which I think looks quite cute. And obviously teamed that up with one of those fantastic black cats with a pop of orange from the bingo card there. And of course, the girls, druggists and apothecaries. So I've also just started to go through the sticker books and pull out some of those little quotes and phrases. So for those ones, look, we've got calls answered day or night. And for this one, because it's got the coffins, caskets and stuff, I've got the word undertakers. And on this one, we've got he must have gone crazy. Wow. So I got to those three. And I thought, well, okay, I might as well come back in and speak to you guys. Because I've now got two lots of sticker books and phrases to choose from. Obviously, some of these are going to be the same. So we need something for the witches. So Salem, Massachusetts would be quite good, wouldn't it? The witches dance and then vanish. So just having a quick, the wonders of a witch. There you go. Wonders of a witch. So then I'm just going to put those onto the cards. And yet we have got the glossy shine, which I'm not all that fond of, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so two little girls. Let's do Lost in the Woods. Yes, because they just look like the type, wouldn't they? To get lost in the woods. So that one there, and then we've got him. So let's have a look. Let's see, we've got one there that says that's dreadful, like that. And I think we'll put that right up there. That's dreadful. And then the bingo. So let's have a look. What else have we got on this one? Distressed beyond measure. No, one who walks by your side. There's a good one. Okay. So again, we'll put that just across those numbers there. Cool. And then the last two. Let's have a look. Strange feeling comes over you. Like it. Lost in the inky darkness. There's some good ones in here, but you know. He does come to dwell amongst us. Haha, could be the rabbit. I don't think so. So trembling from head to foot. That's a good one. We'll put that one in there because that could definitely mean the rabbit. Bless it. Frightened little rabbit. And the last one is, we've got that one, which is troublesome endings. So I'm going to put that one down here. There we go. So that is all 9 of those journaling cards now complete. So let's bring them all back in again. So we've got that one, and that one. I'm trying to do it so that we'll get them all in shot. That one, that one, that one, and then him, her, and them. Cool. Actually, they should probably go on that side, shouldn't they? Just because, no, I've got them the wrong way around. See, that's my OCD. Wanting it to be symmetrical. So there you go. So those are my little journaling cards that will go with the tags and the other bits and pieces of ephemera. They'll populate those pockets, tuck spots and nooks and crannies in my spooky journal. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me create these little journaling cards today. If you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up because it really does help the channel. And don't forget, you can share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. That's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And don't forget, you can access your exclusive angel-only content over on my website. There's a link in the description area below. Thank you.